Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today for the webinar. And yes, my name is Muhammad Yazan Khan. I'm doing mechanical engineering from IUPUI. I came here in spring 2021. And let's just start the webinar. I'll let them introduce themselves. Shubham, you could go first.
Thanks, Yazan. Thanks for joining, everyone. Good morning. My name is Shubham, and my major is computer science. I'm from Delhi, India, so I'm an international student, and my major I'm a senior right now, so this is my last semester.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Priska Giddy. I am currently a junior majoring in health service management. I'm originally from West Africa, Togo, but I've been in Indianapolis for about 10 years now.
Well, it's nice to see everyone here. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, so you can feel free to give your answers. Why did you decide to attend IUI? Shubham, you could go first.
Okay. So personally, for me, as I'm a transfer student from India, so I transferred here back in 2022, and most of my credits were like really that I did back in my in like the college in India. Those were like really all of those credits were transferred, and that was kind of my main one of the main reasons that I came to IUI, because like if you are a transfer student, so it really helps to get like all of your credits get transferred. And also, as I'm a part of Purdue school, so I get a Purdue degree, and also I can also select courses that are part of the IU degree as well. So I can do, if like anyone wants to plan to do a double major, he can do like a major from IU and a Purdue as well.
Nice.
I chose IUI mostly because of my father. This is the university that he attended, and so he always like talked really good about it. And so that was like one of the biggest factors in me choosing IUI. And then, like Shabam was saying, the transfer of credits is like really easy because I took a lot of college level classes in high school, and they were easily transferable here. So I didn't have to retake a lot of the classes that were like general requirements. And so that was like two things that like really played a big part in why I came here.
That's very nice. Superb. What would you say is your favorite thing about IUI?
So, okay. So personally, for me, the favorite thing that I like about IUI that it's like well connected to the city, that it's almost like a 5 minutes walk from the campus to downtown, and you can explore places nearby, and it's also safe. So
Yeah, I would say the same thing, Arnav. I like how it's kind of in the middle of everything in the city. It's just like right downtown. So you kind of have everything to do all the time. Um, I I would also say it's closer to my family because I was debating on going to another school which is like 9 hours from here, and I wasn't ready for that commitment to just go be by myself. So I'd say it's closer to my family, and then it's also like kind of in the center of everything, so you kind of experience every big or every little thing that's happening in the city.
That's nice. It is pretty convenient. Like everything is so close. I could go grocery. I could chill out in the mall. Everything's super close. So that's really convenient. And do you all live off or on campus?
So I live at Riverwalk. That's the part of on-campus housing. I mean, I would suggest to live on-campus housing if you are like a new, if you are like an international student and new, like new to the place, because it can like help you connect with the people, and it's also not that far. So yeah.
Yeah, I also lived on campus. I lived in the dorms my first year, and then I've been at the Riverwalk apartments the last 2 years. I would say it's definitely very convenient in terms of like getting to classes on time, and everything else. Sometimes you don't want to wake up like super early in the morning to get ready to go to class. So living on campus is really good. And then my favorite part is just again like kind of being in the center of everything. So whenever there's like a big race or something downtown, like I can usually see it from my apartment. And so it's just really cool.
No, I definitely feel that I never lived on campus. I kind of regret that. I wish I started living here on campus when I came here first. I would have been way more involved on campus. It was harder for me to get involved because I was not really like in the center. I was living kind of far away, but it is what it is. Hopefully, if my next life I come back, I'll live on campus. But yeah, how did you all prepare to arrive before coming here? What was like your preparation? What was in your mind? What all did you prepare for before coming to Indy?
So personally for me, this was the like first one of my first times that I had been like gone too far from my family. So I was kind of like stressed out at first, but then when I came here, like people were really helpful to get me along and get to know each other. The roommates I had, those were also super friendly. So as a like you could feel stress about it at the first, but it all depends on how much you interact with the people. So mostly it's gonna be a good experience for students who come here.
Yeah, I think the biggest way, because as I mentioned, I was already in the city, but the biggest way that I prepared for here was largely by just watching college videos. I would just go on YouTube and just Google stuff about the university, about college in general, because it's a big transition from high school. And then, as I can imagine, for international students, like it's a bigger transition. So just doing my research as much as possible and then also talking to people who have gone here and people who were going here, and a big part of that was my dad, as I mentioned before. So talking to him about his experience and then getting in contact with like other students who were already here and asking them questions about the university, from like that student focus. But yeah.
Mm, that's nice. Yeah. Even me, like coming as an international student, it was crazy that I came over here. The culture shock was crazy. Did y'all face any culture shock when you came here? I know you've been in the city for a while, but even when you came here, like, could you describe, Shubham, you too, could you describe how you felt?
So personally, I didn't feel like a culture shock. So because the only thing that I felt was people like were more friendly here. I mean, on the campus, they help you out when you're a freshman or when you're a new student here. So they are gonna help you out if you feel, because if you feel there's some academic misconduct, you have academic advisors. If you feel like there's something in your bursar bill, there's a bursar office. So there's everything that you need. So uh, if you are stuck somewhere, you can ask around for anyone to help you out.
Um, yeah, I don't think I experienced like any big culture shocks. I think it was more of like just looking at little things that were different from like high school or even my day-to-day life before college. That I would say, so sometimes like I would go to class and it's just classroom etiquette overall was very different from high school, where you don't necessarily have to always raise your hand before you leave the class and stuff like that. So it's the little things that I would say are like culture shocks for me. But there was nothing like major. Although I would say like the campus was way bigger than I expected. Because I think I always saw it through like little eyes, and then I got here and I was like, okay, yeah, this is actually pretty huge. But that was cool.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when I came over here, I used to ask the professor if I can leave to go to the bathroom, but I don't think, people do that here, so it's pretty funny. But yeah, what does a typical day at IUI look like for you? Just like a day in the life.
So usually a typical day for me, it starts with having a breakfast at the Tower Dining or maybe at the campus center. I mean, the campus center is really good if you are like, let's say if you are getting late for class and you can't have breakfast, there are like many outlets and cafes you can try there. And the good thing about those cafes is they also accept your meal plan. That's like the you get some dining dollars with your meal plan. So if you might want to try that, you can also try that. After that, I go get done with my classes, and then I also work as a part time in the university library. So I get there and get my work done, and then go to my other classes and then come back home. So it's not that hectic if you plan your classes like from if you pre-plan your classes. So it's not gonna be that much hectic.
Yeah, I think my freshman year, my day-to-day life was kind of similar to that, just going to the dining hall to get breakfast. But now that I have my own apartment, it's kind of a little different. So I will usually wake up and make breakfast, and then kind of sit a little bit and just plan out like everything I have to do. And I would head to class because I have mostly morning classes since I work in the afternoon. So I would head to class, get done with those, and then head straight to work. But after work, I usually have student org meetings or I go to student org events on campus. And so by the time I'm coming back, it's like kind of late. So I just eat dinner, try to get some homework done, sleep, and then repeat for the next day. But yeah, that's kind of like a typical or a general day, unless there's like some special event happening.
That's nice. Yeah, talking about student organization, what kind of organizations are you involved in, or are you even involved in any organizations on campus?
So I wouldn't say I'm involved directly with a student organization, but I'm the international house ambassador. So those of you who doesn't know what's international house, so it's one of the apartments at the Riverwalk. So usually in the international house, we there's like people living from all over the world. So and we try to foster multicultural environment and host any events and all, and also you get a scholarship for that. So and I'm also so I was also the part of the regatta code for this fall as the regatta ambassador. So yeah.
Yeah, I always say student orgs are kind of like my other part-time job on campus. But I'm involved in the African Student Association. I'm also been a member of the Black Student Union since my first year. And recently, I just helped reactivated a chapter for the National Advancement for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or for short, the NAACP. So we have a new chapter here, and then I am also on the Aphrodite's dance team, which is just a Afro dance cultural based dance team. So kind of doing a lot of things in different like variations or so. But yeah.
Damn, that's nice. That sounds super interesting, of course. And how are your classes, would you say, different from high school? Like back home or back wherever you did your high school, would you say it's like crazy difference or is it the same?
So the difference that I felt from my high school back in India were, as you mentioned before, you don't have to like ask the professor to leave the class first. You can like go whenever you want if it's like an emergency or something, or you don't want to attend the class. And also, the professors I found here like they didn't only taught you the topics that are just like on the syllabus. They also like tell you the topics that are like related to the syllabus and that can help you in the future. So that's a good difference that I found here.
Yeah, the biggest difference for me from high school here, as opposed to, or school here in general, as opposed to school in Africa or anywhere else that I've been, was kind of the interaction between professors and students. Because I think back home it's very structure based. You're not really, professors are like this unapproachable authority figure, but here you can kind of just go talk to your professors and ask them any questions. And then the asking to leave class for bathroom breaks or things like that. In high school, you usually have to ask by raising your hand, but here you can just kind of get up and walk out as long as you're not disrupting the class. Like most professors are cool with it. And then I think the other thing is the length of the class. So in high school here, classes were about 45, 50 minutes. And then you would switch periods to go to different classrooms. And the professors were, kind of stationary, but here it's kind of the same, but both the professors and the students are moving to different classes throughout the day because there is no one set classroom for you. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. And then professors are pretty helpful and like they're very approachable, as I've said here. So that's really cool.
That's nice. That's nice. And have you all like got any new interests, any new electives you took when you're going through your degree? Anything interesting that you've done in your classes, or any new interest you gained?
So, I took a drawing class last semester that isn't like really connected to my majors, but so we have to like take some general electives that are required, and all the classes got full at first. So the only option left for me was drawing. Like I used to be like really bad at drawing at first, but that class really helped me to improve my drawing, and now I'm really interested in like drawing sketches and all.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, for me, it was a dance class. I think we have like a really good balance of like arts here. So my second semester, I took a ballet class. I originally started ballet when I was younger, but I got pulled out of it really quickly, just because of focusing on academics and such. But I took my first, or I guess my second, I would say, ballet class here, and it was really cool just because it was like you don't expect people in my major to just be like, oh yeah, like I just took a dance class or anything like that. So that was really interesting. And it was just kind of fun to do something, out there rather than just focusing on like the pathway that I was on all the time.
Yeah, that's good. Me too. I took a soccer class. I'm an engineering major, and I took a soccer class, so that was pretty nice. I was having fun with it. But yeah, and have you all like held any internship or any research opportunities connected to your major?
So right now I'm doing a remote internship. So it's the company is in based in Indianapolis only. So it's related to my major. Like technically my role is a data analyst intern. So I have to develop like I have to use softwares like Power BI and Tableau. And I also did an internship last summer as well. That was also a remote internship that my role was a data science intern. So you can really get like good internship opportunities on campus if you attend the fairs and keep a regular eye on which companies are coming. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same. I've had a couple internships, but I'm currently working as a research assistant at one of the hospitals near us. And although my role is through the university, I'm working as a research assistant for a project that we are studying for the reproductive health of Black women. So we're serving pregnant as well as non-pregnant women to just get a comparison of how migrating to the U.S. Which focuses on African women versus women who were born here, African American women, how what differences in their reproductive health or how they interact with health providers differs, and then for past internships, I think I've kind of just done general stuff, nothing specific to my major. But I did work as an intern at a museum where I was in an administrative role, and that kind of runs a little bit into my major because I plan on being a health administrator. So I just learned those basic, small soft skills that I can apply there someday.
And that sounds really interesting. That sounds really interesting. What do you guys plan to do after graduation? Is there anything planned, or are you just gonna freestyle it?
So like my first preference is to get a job first. So right now I'm also trying to get like a full-time job. But if I don't get one, I plan on doing my maybe a master's in like 1 or 2 year, taking a break and preparing for it. So that's like my two plans.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I mentioned this previously, but I'm technically double majoring. So for my first degree, which is health service management, I plan to get my master's in health administration immediately after I graduate. And then I'm going to come back and get my physician assistant degree, or get into a physician assistant program and become a physician assistant. So that's my plan for now.
That's nice. And for the final question, some words of wisdom for our future students. What advice would you give them?
So I just have one advice. Like many students are really stressed out at first when they think about college and like moving away from their family. But it's not that bad as it sounds. It's technically a good opportunity to grow, for you to grow and get to know people and get to know their cultures. So there's nothing to be stressed about.
Yeah, I think my advice would be open to experiences, especially new experiences, because I think before college I was a very like tight person. I live on a routine and I still kind of do, but just being open to different experiences and kind of accepting like everything that comes my way and being present in the moment is like the biggest advice that I could give, because it would just take you in so many places. Sometimes it might be bad, but a lot of the times it's been good. So
Yeah, I would say the same. Just, go with the flow. Everything's gonna happen by itself. You don't gotta stress about anything. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you for all your answers. And now, if the students want to ask any questions, they can feel free to do so in the chat, and we'll make sure we answer them. So please go ahead, students. Any questions, anything that you want to ask, we're all right here. So please go ahead and feel free to ask. If there's something you don't remember asking or something, you could feel free to email us too. Yeah, that's our email, iapply@iupui.edu. So we could help you with any kind of problems. And yeah, since we're all here, if there's any question that you would like to ask right now, please go ahead and do so. We're here to help you out no matter what. So Mohammed, you're planning on joining IUPUI. So yeah, there are a lot of on-campus job opportunities. Like I said, there's a website. It's called Handshake. If you go there, you'll see a lot of opportunities that you could do on campus. And to cover your living expenses, yeah, I feel like if you work, like we're only allowed to work 19 or 20 hours. So if you work all those hours and you have like a decent paying job, then yes, you could cover like your rent, of course, or it's like extra money that you could like, use for yourself, like groceries, going out with your friends. And yeah, there are a lot of job opportunities if that's what you want to ask. And since you're a master's student, then you can also apply to internships around, and they're also pretty high paying for the most part. So you should be good. But as long as you're actively looking, that's the most important part, because some people come here and they're not looking for jobs. Uh, I would say that's the wrong way to go about it. Of course, just come here. I know it'll take a month or two to settle, but after that, if y'all like actively look for jobs, it'll be smooth and it'll be easy to get.
I would just like to add on that. So if you are planning to go like try and look for on-campus job, I would suggest you like start applying as soon as you can, because the places are like limited, and the people like a really lot of people apply for on-campus of jobs. So personally, I would suggest you like if you plan on coming to IUPUL on let's say fall 2024, you should like start applying from June or July, because it sometimes the companies they hire before the session starts. So it's better to have a job when you come here, and then get start straight working.
And then to add on to what both of them said, I think the biggest ways for a lot of students to get job opportunities are also to talk to their professors, because those are the people that are like in their field. They know a lot of other people who are hiring. So having a good relationship with your professors and asking them about any opportunities that they know might be going on. And as you're in their class, they're seeing you kind of grow as well. So they're like the first, or they're like the best people to recommend you to employers, but just using like those little resources I would suggest.
I hope that answered your question. But any other question, feel free to ask. Yeah, so of course there are a lot of career fairs that happen. There are two major per semester almost, I would say. A lot of companies come. You could go give your CV, talk to them. I would say that's the best place to talk to companies, and that's the like you could talk to them one on one, and that makes a big like it's probably one of the best things you could do is just talk to them one on one. They might remember you. You could get their email. You could stay in contact with them, and through that, then you can of course you know get yourself a job. But yeah, there are a lot of career fairs that happen. Not only here, there are also other universities close by that have career fairs. So you could also go to their university and talk to them. It's good. There's a lot of opportunities, of course, and yeah, a lot of career fairs that take place. So if you're looking to get a good job, then as long as you're actively looking, I would say that's the most important part. So if you try, you know, everything's gonna happen. So yeah.
And then to quickly add on, I'm personally not sure how the split will affect the computer science department specifically, but I know for a lot of Purdue students, most of your communications or anything regarding your degree pathway would be through your Purdue advisor or your academic advisor, which would be from Purdue. So connecting with them to ask them would be the best way to get an answer for that.
And of course, you could click in that link below. The CS department will be through the Luddy School of Informatics. So we have advisors there and everything, so you could ask them about how your whole plan will go. But yeah, it shouldn't be a major problem since everything is pretty seen through. So yeah. Is there any other questions I can help you with? So could you shed some light on the spring semester intake? So uh do you mean like do you want me to tell you how it is while when you come here for pre-med, or do you want me to just tell you how it feels? Because the spring semester is like January. Oh, the application timeline. So I guess if you apply like in November, then you could. No, actually, you have to apply before. My bad. You have to apply in like before August, of course, and then you could then your application could be accepted for the spring semester. So you have to like be fast when you apply, of course, and then you can either come in fall or you can come in spring. I personally came in spring, so I applied a while back. I applied in like June, July, so I could get into the spring semester. But yeah, it's the same thing for all majors. It's not only pre-med. So yeah, and the housing options for master students. So uh, the usual expenses, if you're of course if you're living off campus, I would say if you're living with I live with three other people in my house, so it's like a 4 bedroom. I pay roughly around $550 to $600 per month, and then I have electricity bills and everything, which comes to around like $20-30. So yeah, you could find a lot of good options for under 700, I would say. And the good thing is they're all close to downtown. They're all super close to grocery shopping if you want to go, super close to campus, and you could travel with the bus around. So yeah, I would say you could if you're willing to live with other people, then $700 at most is what you'd have to pay. Of course, if you want like a 1 bedroom apartment, then the pricings would be a little more expensive. But yeah.
Also, to add on that, if you are looking for like on-campus options as well, those can be like a little bit more expensive than 700. That can like cost you around 800 or 900. But the good thing about is that is it all includes all your water bill, electricity bill, and you also get some of the perks like the gym that's in the campus. You get like a free membership. You get like some subscriptions as well if you try it. So that's like what the extra amount they charge for.
Also, quickly, while we wait for other questions to come in, I just wanted to ask the two of you, do you guys have like a favorite moment or like a favorite memory that you've created in Indy so far?
I could go first. Favorite memory, probably, yeah, I came here, so I never seen snow in my life. And uh, I was dumb enough, there was a snowstorm. So I thought it's okay, so I just walked. I walked to a restaurant in a snowstorm. That's probably I regret that the most. I don't think I'll ever do that in my life ever again. But I would say that was pretty memorable. I had to I thought it's over for me. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it was pretty scary. But yeah, I would say that's the most memorable moment of my life, or in IUI.
I think I also saw the snow first time when I came here, and I haven't seen the snow like before, even like any time around. So that was a really good experience for me. But also one of the good experience that I had was in my last spring semester. That's like 1 year back. So there was there's a student organization that hosted Jagapalooza. So that was like they probably like built a small amusement park in the parking lot of the campus, and the rides were like really good, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was
What
good.
about you?
um, yeah, those are probably like my top two as well, or college wise, I would say. But I remember we had a snowstorm like my first year, and everyone went sledding the day afterwards. And so that was like a really fun experience because I'm like, even though I've seen snow a couple times since I've been here, I was never like open to it because I'm always like, it's cold. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be outside. But I have my friends just kind of drag me and be like, we're going sledding. So, was really fun. But yeah, Jagapalooza has become one of my favorite things to look forward to in the spring as well. But yeah, I can't wait for this year's.
Do most of the students end up getting a job in the technical field after graduation? The percentage, I would say, for international students, it's about like, uh, I saw this on Google the other day. It's like 65% of the students get a job after graduation. But again, I don't believe in like percentages. I would say that if again you're willing to get a job and you're willing to try, then it's almost 100% that you will get a job, because applying is the most important thing. So as long as you keep applying and you keep trying and you're actively looking, then yeah, you will end up getting a job. So because there are so many opportunities, not over here. The good thing about Indy is that we're so close to like Chicago, Kentucky, Ohio. So there's so many opportunities that you could go get yourself a job, and as long as you tailor your resume, have a good CV, you could get your CV looked at. We have advisors that help you with your CV. So as long as you do all of that steps, I feel like you're almost guaranteed to get a job. But it's as long as you try. Some people come here, they don't try enough, so they won't get a job. But if you make up your mind to getting a job, then I don't think anything can stop you. So, you know, if you see a certain amount of percentage, I don't think you should even worry about that. I feel like it's just up to you. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, thank you. Because we're international students, it's a little harder because people don't like to sponsor. A lot of companies don't sponsor us. But again, as long as you keep trying, there's always a plan ahead. So that's all I would say, for sure. The main thing is y'all have to like stay calm. Don't be stressed about it, because the moment you start stressing, that's when things start going south. As long as you're calm about it, it'll it'll be smooth.
And then quickly to add, I know there's also I forget if it's live again, but there's a website called First Destination through IU. And they have like a whole bunch of data in terms of like careers that alumni have gone through, or careers that alumni has gone into, I should say. So they might have a percentages, or they might have like data from international students. So you could always connect with like people who are international students that have graduated and are working in certain fields. But yeah, that might be a great way to connect with some alumni, find out where they got their internships from, where they're working, and how they got through those hurdles.
Any other questions? So if you all don't have any other questions, and if you don't remember any question right now, then feel free to email us at iapply@iupui.edu. Please go follow us on our Instagram. There's a lot of questions that can be answered over there. We do a lot of FAQs, just daily life on campus and what's going on. So, yep, that's the link for the email. So yeah, please feel free to email us, of course. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for your time. I hope we helped you out in some kind of way. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm glad it was helpful. And yeah, hopefully we see you here. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Shubham and Prisa, of course, for your time. I appreciate you, and thank you for answering our questions. And yeah, if you just have a beautiful day ahead. Thank you.